It was 2:03 a.m. when my phone buzzed on the nightstand. I don't usually wake up to notifications, but that night felt different. The vibration rattled against the wood like a warning bell. I reached for it, rubbing the sleep from my eyes, and saw her name light up the screen. Clara. And beneath it, the message that would shatter me. I'm at my ex's place. Pick me up or we're over. For a second I thought I was dreaming. My chest tightened, my hands froze around the phone, and a dull ringing filled my ears. I read it again, and again. The words didn't change. My wife, my partner of 6 years, the woman I'd built a life with, was at another man's house. Not just any man. Her ex. The drive. I sat on the edge of the bed, staring into the dark. Every thought crashed into the next. Why was she there? Was this her first time? Was she bluffing, testing me? I wanted to scream. I wanted to punch something. Instead I grabbed my keys. The drive across town was quiet, eerily so. The city was asleep, but inside me, a war was raging. My hands tightened on the steering wheel until my knuckles whitened. I replayed our last argument in my head, her snapping, "Maybe you don't make me feel wanted anymore." I brushed it off then, thinking it was stress talking. But maybe it was more. When I pulled into the cul-de-sac, the house looked ordinary. A porch light glowed faintly. A car I didn't recognize sat in the driveway. My stomach dropped. She was really in there. The door. I didn't even get the chance to ring the bell. The door opened and Clara stumbled out. Her hair was messy, her eyeliner smudged. She clutched her purse like it weighed 100 pounds. Behind her, a shadow lingered in the hallway. A man's voice called, "You sure you're good?" It was him. Her ex. She didn't answer him. She just saw me and walked straight to the car, her heels clicking against the pavement. Not a word. Not an apology. Inside the car, the silence was unbearable. I could smell his cologne clinging to her. I gripped the steering wheel tighter. Finally I broke the silence. "Me. Do you have any idea what you just did to me?" She sighed, as if I was the one inconveniencing her. "Clara, I just needed you to come get me." "Me. From him. At 2 in the morning." She didn't answer. The explosion. Halfway home I couldn't hold it in anymore. "Me. Are you sleeping with him?" Her head turned sharply. "Clara, don't start with the accusations." "Me. Accusations. You text me that you're at your ex's place, I pick you up at 2 a.m., and you want me to act like this is normal." Her jaw tightened. Her silence was confirmation enough. "Me. How long?" She stared out the window, her reflection pale in the glass. Finally, she whispered, "Clara. A few months." The world blurred around me. Traffic lights smeared into streaks. My chest felt like it was caving in. "Me. Months." She didn't look at me. Didn't even flinch. The betrayal. By the time we got home, I felt like I was walking into a stranger's house. Everything looked the same. The couch we bought together, the photos of us smiling in better days, but it all felt tainted. She sat on the edge of the couch, arms folded, while I paced the living room. "Me. Why him? Why go back to someone you left behind?" "Clara. Because he made me feel something you don't anymore." Her words hit harder than a punch. "Me. So instead of telling me, instead of trying to fix us, you run back to him?" She looked me dead in the eyes. "Clara. Maybe I didn't want it fixed. That was it. The knife in the gut." Sleepless night. I didn't sleep. I lay on the bed staring at the ceiling while she curled up in the guest room. Every memory of us replayed in my mind. Our wedding, our road trips, the nights we laughed until dawn. Were those moments real to her? Or was she already halfway out the door back then? By dawn something inside me broke. Not with rage, but with a cold, sharp clarity. She wasn't mine anymore. She hadn't been for months. The confrontation. When she came into the kitchen the next morning, her face was puffy from crying, or maybe from guilt. I didn't care. "Me. Clara, this isn't going to work. Not after last night." Not after months of lies. Her lips trembled. Clara. So what? You're just going to throw everything away. Me. You threw it away the moment you walked back into his arms. She tried to reach for my hand. Pulled back. Clara, please. I made a mistake. I shook my head. Me. A mistake is forgetting an anniversary. A mistake is saying something cruel in an argument. Sneaking off to your ex for months. That's a choice. Her tears fell then, silent and steady. But I couldn't bring myself to comfort her. The fallout. The following weeks were hell. She begged, promised therapy, swore she'd cut him off. But the trust was gone. Every time she left the house, I wondered if she was running back to him. Every phone buzz felt like another dagger waiting to strike. Friends noticed. My mother asked why I looked like I hadn't slept in weeks. I couldn't bring myself to explain. How do you tell people the person you love chose someone else? The worst part. I still loved her. Even through the betrayal, some stubborn part of me ached for her. But love without trust is just torture. The decision. One night, I sat alone at the kitchen table with divorce papers in front of me. My hands trembled as I signed them. Not from doubt but from grief. When I handed them to her, she sobbed, clutching them like they were death sentences. Clara, please don't do this. I'll do anything. I looked at her, really looked at her. The woman I married was gone. What sat before me was someone who chose lies over love, betrayal over honesty. Me. You already did everything. And that's why this has to end. The last goodbye. The day she moved out, the house felt like a tomb. Her laughter, her scent, her presence. All of it vanished in cardboard boxes. I stood by the window as she drove away, a lump in my throat the size of a fist. I didn't cry. Not then. I'd cried enough in the shadows of sleepless nights. What I felt was release. Because sometimes love doesn't end with fire and fury. Sometimes it ends with the quiet realization that the person beside you was never really beside you at all. Epilogue. It's been months since that night. I still wake sometimes at 2 a.m., half expecting another text to shatter my world. But the silence is different now. Safer. I don't know where Clara is or who she's with. Maybe she went back to him for good. Maybe she's alone. It doesn't matter. What matters is that I learned the hardest truth. You can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved. And you can't carry a marriage alone. At 2 a.m. she gave me a choice. Pick her up or lose her. In the end I picked myself.